In this exercise, we're going to be implementing permissions in the service module. Our objectives for this exercise: we're going to create the resource constants class. We'll define the permissions. We'll define the permissions definition location. We'll implement permission resource management in the assignment local service impl. We'll create the permission registration classes, implement permission checking in the remote service class assignment service impl. We'll rebuild the service, and then we'll test the application in the UI. We'll do this by creating the resource constants class, defining its permissions, defining the location where we want that permissions definition. We'll implement a permission resource management, create a permission registrar classes, create some permission registrar classes, implement permissions checking in the remote service, rebuild the service, and finally test out the application. Here we are, back in Liferay Developer Studio. Now, it is important to note before we get started here that I have removed all the test assignments we have created so far. Basically, this is because existing test entities don't have the resources to support permissioning and will therefore cause some errors. So before you proceed, just make sure you do get rid of any test assignments you have in that application. To avoid misspellings in permission properties, we'll create a constants class in the Gradebook API module. So let's go ahead and go over there. We're going to create a new package. And we're going to call it com.liferay.training.constants. And within that package, we're going to go ahead and create a new class that we will simply call Gradebook Constants. So we'll go ahead and implement that according to the code snippet in your exercise instructions. Make sure we save that. And we'll go ahead and add that package to the list of exported packages within our bnd.bnd file. So we go ahead and click Add under Export Packages, and we make sure that we have our constants package. There we go. So by default, permissions are going to be defined in the file called default.xml. So we'll go ahead and navigate over to the Gradebook service module. Specifically, we're going to come down here to the source main resources folder, and we're going to create a new folder here. So we'll go ahead and go down to the resources folder in source main, and we'll create a new folder. Make sure that that is just in the resources folder. And we're going to call this resource -actions. Now, in that folder that we just created, we're going to create our default.xml file. And we'll go ahead and implement that according to our code snippet from your exercise instructions. Go ahead and save that. Within that resources folder, so the greater resources folder, not resource actions, we're going to create a file called portlet.properties. And we'll go ahead and implement according to your exercise instructions. Now, permissions need container objects for the model entities. When we create an entity, we need to create and bind a resource object to that. Accordingly, we'll have to take care of cleaning up the resources when we delete the entity. So we're going to go ahead and navigate over to Assignment Local Service Impl. And we're going to go ahead and replace the add assignment method according to our code snippet. Go ahead and add the unimplemented methods. Next, we will add a new signature for deleting assignments. And we'll go ahead and resolve any missing imports. Make sure we save. So, and don't worry about any errors you see, because the errors are going to go away after we rebuild the service. So now we're going to create classes for registering the model and top-level resource permissions. So we're going to create a new class within our service module. But first, we'll go ahead and create a new package for that class to live in. So we're going to call that package com.liferay.training.gradebook.internal .security .permission .resource .definition. We'll go ahead and click finish. And within that package, we're going to create a new class. And we're going to call that class Assignment Model Resource Permission Definition. And we'll go ahead and implement that according to our code snippet. Go ahead and save that. Go ahead and save that. And now we're going to, within that same package, we'll create another new class. And we're going to call that class Assignment Portlet Resource permission definition. And we'll implement that according to our code snippet. And make sure we save that. So now let's go ahead and implement the permission checking in our remote service class. So we'll go through the implementation steps first. And we'll need references to the portlet and model resource permission services. Note that for a dynamic reference to work, the field must be declared with the volatile modifier so that the field value changes made by service components runtime are visible to other threads. Then we'll implement permission checking in add assignment, delete assignment, and update assignment methods. In this exercise, we'll allow everybody to see and search the assignments list by the keyword search method, get assignments by keywords. We just won't allow unauthorized users to view, update, or delete them. So we'll go back to our assignment service impl.java class, and we will implement according to our code snippet. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and run the build service task to deploy our changes. All right, now that the service has been rebuilt, we'll go ahead and test it out in the UI. Here we are in the UI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and log out as my administrator role. So we'll go ahead and hit sign out. And now that I'm just a guest, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to add a new assignment down here. So as you can see, we'll go ahead and do new entry. This is not a test assignment. However, when I try and save, you'll see that that assignment is not saved because I do not have the permission to create an assignment.